J.L. Graham. We're here at the Duncan Center in Greenville with author Lisa Piper, author of A Mile Below Paradise. And this is your first book signing for A Mile Below Paradise?
For this book, yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about the book?
Sure. What would you like to know?
The plot, the general plot line of it. What's it about?
The thick plot. Well, I've been a fan of Airdrie, as we call them, Muhlenberg County, since I was 13, and I always wanted to know more about it. And so when I started researching, there was so much rich information but I found pieces here and pieces there.
Yeah.
And I wanted to present it in a chronological order. So I wrote the novel. You know, it is fiction, but I tried to keep it as historically correct as possible. And I just took it from the conception and the birth of Airdrie on to probably early 1900s. And in the book, there is a treasure that some modern day people are looking for. And this treasure is real, and I've looked for it ever since I read about it. You don't have one, do you?
So the treasure in the book actually exists.
It exists. And especially since I knew that once the book came out, people would read it, and maybe they would find one. In 1906, there were still several around the country. I'm not going to say what it is because I have to read the book to find that out. But it did exist in 1906. There's several copies of it. So, and it's a piece that came out of Airdrie.
Wow. And
so these treasure hunters, they go looking for this treasure. And I cameo quite a few places in Muhlenberg County, some of my favorite spots. Luke's Flea Market, Uncle Lee's, the Courtyard, some of the restaurants. So usually I use false places in my novels. But on this novel, I wanted it to be as correct as possible. And, well, I want them all to be correct, but I wanted it to reflect some of Muhlenberg County and its rich history. And I've been amazed at all the people who love Airdrie. And, of course, it's crumbling. Yeah. And, you know, it's not going to be there much longer if something isn't preserved. So my instinct was to do what I could do. I don't have $10 million or $1 million to put into it. I wish I did, but I can write. So I did that, and I hope that people fall in love with it, and maybe something can be done to preserve the history. We owe a lot to Airdrie and the wonderful people that came out of there.
So you would classify this as historically accurate?
It is historically accurate with some creative license taken to tell the story. Like, one of my favorite characters is Archie Pollock. And what I knew about him, of course, from census records and from Bobby Anderson's book and other articles and that kind of thing, was that he was a prize pugilist. You know, he's a good fighter. He was friendly. He was jolly. All the people liked him. So I built a character around a great man that everyone wanted to be around. And then after I finished the book, I found out he had real live descendants here in Muhlenberg County, which made me really excited about that. So the creative license isn't actually in telling the story, but there's a lot of it that is correct.
Yeah.
I took some of the census records of later on after Airdrie was abandoned, and the names of people who eventually got married. I built that into the story to kind of prelude to the fact that they would be getting married. So I tried to match people up correctly.
Did your book signing today go well?
It was so great. I got to meet some of my former teachers and some friends. There's somebody who came from St. Louis. Actually, when I was doing research, I had to go to St. Louis to research General Buell, who used to live in Airdrie, and she met me there. And so she came down for the signing, and there's a lady from Bowling Green, and a man from Ohio County. And Muhlenberg County people are great anyway, and they love Airdrie. It's not me as a writer, although I hope I do justice to the story, but it's the content. People love their community, and they love Airdrie. I mean, you love it. You've been to visit it.
Absolutely.
So, and one glimpse and you're hooked.
That's right. Will you be having another book signing soon?
I'm actually traveling out of the country here in about a week, and I'm about out of books, actually. So it's going to be a few weeks before I get another bulk of them, and then after that I'm going to be doing some more.
If some of our readers would like to purchase a copy of your book, how would they go about it?
They can go to lisapiper.com if they want to get it mailed to them. But here at the Duncan Center, they have copies here. They have copies at the historical annex beside the library, and Hopkins County Read More Books has the book. And there's some other places that will have them, but because I have a shortage, I just haven't placed them out there yet. So there's still a few that can be gotten until this, and they want the first printing. So.
Well, thank you, Lisa. As someone who is right in the middle of reading the book right now, I strongly urge you to get this book, especially if you're into history. Thank you very much. This is Jesse Graham with iSurf News.